I don't know your address.
That's awesome.
No, I mean next year.
Oh,
That was nice new on campus or the they're off campus.
I didn't see what did y'all
I
grew up in Campbell. I don't see one. I'll go look. So I know I was
don't have a roommate either.
my son was afraid of yeah, the year that I was thinking about it.
I feel like
Oh, that's like
Soviet government.
no, but it might actually hold the
I don't know exact time.
It's so weird. I don't want
Alright, Campbell, you ready?
Take go to school.
It's a motherfucking 17.
And it's history. Yeah, so I had my mom go to America. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get my started with the contact.
so my sophomore year of high school, I was actually
FLCUS.
R-E-S-P-E-C.
So the first thing is my philosophy. I think free will is definitely the main thing that we all have. Fate is just the worst idea anyone's ever had. If something's just planned out for you, then what do you even have to do anything for it? And I think that you're free to make any choice you want, free to do anything, and just make your life your own. There's just decisions that other people make that line up to either make your life worse or better. So, for example, if Micah hadn't told me about the interest meeting during French one day, I probably wouldn't have been in SEM. And that was just one moment of wanting someone that you know there to be next to you so you're not nervous by yourself in a room. And that's just any small decision that could be made to just improve someone else's life, even if you're not thinking about that other person. And I think the butterfly effect is definitely what I believe in, because I don't know, it's just something. I have a few goals. My main goal is to help as many people as possible and make the life experience people want it to be, instead of getting bogged down and trying to make it to the next best part of their life. I do this already in my own life. I try to make other people around me happy, even at my own expense. I try to prioritize people around me first, and I think this feeds into what I want to do for a career. I want to work in politics and help people on a really large scale, instead of just one or two people that I can really make an impact in. I want to try and make everybody's life more equal and fair, and I want to put the priorities of the people around me my main focus of life. So, my human nature, I've always been shy and quiet. I don't know whether it's from an event or if I've always just been quiet. But if you couldn't tell, I didn't really talk to anyone in the beginning of the year. I was afraid of most of you. And I felt like I saw a bunch of pre-existing relationships that I didn't want to interrupt. And I think I would always make these small relationships and focus on them instead of a bunch of different ones. And I put all my effort into one or two people instead of focusing on like 5 different people, and I spend all of my time with those one or two people. And I've always really connected with the smaller relationships instead of the big groups, but I think this has really changed it, because when you're supported by more people, it feels a lot better than just having one or two people to lean on. I've also been described as funny, I guess. I don't know. I think someone wrote in my journal once that I had the highest words to funny ratio. And I think I've always been sarcastic, and that morphed into trying to make jokes. And I've always known that jokes make people feel better. And I think that helps my people-pleasing side, and I really like to make people happy and feel better about their situation. So that moves into my institutions. My mom is my first one. She has affected my life so much. She's the reason I'm interested in politics. She's the reason I'm able to be optimistic in bad situations. She's made me kind. And when she was diagnosed with cancer for the first time, when I was around 4th grade, I didn't really comprehend it, but I saw that my dad was scared. And I knew that if someone around me who I looked up to as almost a superhero was scared, then there was something to be scared about. But I didn't feel scared, and I didn't feel sad. I kept my composure, and my mom pushed through. She's probably the strongest person I know, and her getting cancer not once, but twice, is the main reason I'm an optimistic person, and think that most people can push through any situation if they have the willpower to do it. And she's beat it, and I think she's stronger than ever. And my dad is another important person in my life. He's a really empathetic and caring person, and I've followed in his footsteps. He's the reason why I feel I need to be kind and make everything easier for people, because he always made things easier for me and my mom. I've definitely gotten most of my music taste from my dad. Not to discredit my mom, but he's definitely made the biggest influence on my music and my media choices. He introduced me to Spoon, the Beastie Boys, James Brown, Pearl Jam, and he introduced me to Star Wars, Shawshank Redemption, and all the Tarantino films. And he even introduced me to video games. And he's one of the biggest influences on my interests that I have. My grandma is my third. I call her Ham because I couldn't pronounce my P's when I tried to say her name at first. She always lived close, and I would always spend weekends with her. She was the person I could relate to. She would play Minecraft and Roblox with me when I was bored. I remember we built a wool house and we put a fireplace in it.
Oh my God.
But we would do fun science experiments like Alka-Seltzer rockets, because she was a science teacher and she was always looking to do things with me. And I grew so close with her that we were almost inseparable. In 6th grade, I would call her every day from school when I was walking home from the bus, and she was just my favorite person. I remember when I was a kid, I didn't really treat her that well, and I was kind of mean to her, and I would expect her to do everything for me, and I really built a reliance on her. She sat me down on the stairs one day and told me not to treat people as if they should do everything for you and be waited on, and that really changed my mind about a lot of things. Seeing someone I cared about telling me something made her feel bad really just put my perspective on a lot of things. I think I overcorrected and got too scared to ask for help. Got scared to tell people what I needed and share emotions, but it really helped me in the end to not become an entitled person who creates false narratives and become someone who wanted everything handed to me on a silver platter. My older friends have also been a really big impact on me. I had and still have this big group of friends that are around 2 years older than me. I played a lot of video games with them, and they're where I get my main sense of humor from. They're where I get some of my beliefs from, but they're also where I get some of my anxiety comes from. I always heard them talking about making plans with each other, separate group chats that I wasn't a part of, and I figured that they're 2 years older than me. They didn't want to hang out with someone as young as me. I think I always excluded myself from the situation, and I think that's where I get a lot of my awkwardness and unwillingness to involve myself in group activity comes from. I always think that if I'm not initially invited to do something, that I should always exclude myself and ask not to join in on something, even if it's something that everyone seems to be involved in. I just feel like I'm intruding. That's why I'm surprised when people actually want me to do things, and when people intentionally include me in things. And when I feel included, it fills me with joy and an excitement that people actually want me included. But not everything about those people are negative. They're people who I've spent so much time with, playing games and talking to, and it helped develop my ability to talk to people in groups that I was comfortable with. And my anxiety is the least favorite one on here. I hate it, but I always succumb to it. I get anxious when I'm trying to tell my parents something. I get anxious when I'm trying to talk to my friends. I get scared when they don't talk to me, and I get stressed when I let things pile up. I think my anxiety peaked in junior year. I ate lunch alone for a few weeks the first semester. I had almost no friends, and I felt like an outcast. But when I found another friend group, I felt like an outsider. I felt like I had forced myself and been forced into this group of people, and my anxiety kept bubbling. It didn't help that I was taking some harder classes and not getting much sleep, but I felt so anxious that it was almost crippling. I felt so much pressure that year, and I felt alone, even though I found a group of people that I could be around. My main anxiety, I think, comes from my friends, especially when I think I've done something wrong. It's always my fault, and I'm the reason no one's talking to me. I'm the reason no one wants to do anything with me, and my anxiety is always directed at something I've done wrong, even if I haven't done anything wrong. And that brings me to senior SEM, and senior SEM is one of the best things I've ever done. These connections I've made with everyone here have really made me grow, and I've been able to see it. Throughout the bike trip, I was the most nervous I had been in a long time. I was nervous that I wouldn't be able to ride my bike on a normal road, let alone the backcountry trails. But I was able to get out there and bike, and I really enjoyed it, no matter how scared I was when I was going on the downhills, or how tired I was when I was going uphill. And I've also seen growth in my social life, and I've let myself be more open, and even be kind of extroverted in some places. I'm definitely still awkward and a quiet speaker, but I've seen growth, and I will definitely miss all of you. But you have all made some sort of impact on my life, no matter how large or how small. It's made my life better meeting and learning how amazing most of you are.